The password you shared doesn't work. Fix it now, by user googlimugly122. A user raised a ticket and asked for the login for one of the meeting rooms. Sure. Easy peasy. Got the username and chucked the password into password push, generated a link and sent it. Easiest close for the day. Also, I tested the login in case there was some issue with the account. Works just fine. An hour later I get the usual panicked email, "Hi. The password you gave me doesn't work and we have a meeting in 15 minutes blah blah blah." I call her. She sounds worried. Me, howdy. I tested this login and it works. Maybe I'll read the password out loud and perhaps we can compare notes. Her, sure, but what a weird password you shared with me. It starts with https://. Me, stunned silence. She was typing in the generated link into the password field. This job makes me wanna cry sometimes. We delayed a large conference by playing the World Cup, by user Dukov Dummies. I used to work IT in college as a student job for my university. We'd fix problems, set up machines and conference rooms, and also rent out equipment like loaner laptops and projectors. Sometimes when the projectors and other loaner equipment weren't really being used, we'd attempt to advertise by using one to project something random on the wall of our room. Well, one year we decided to start streaming the World Cup on the wall. None of us were really sports fans, let alone soccer fans, but we had a diverse crowd move through so it wasn't distracting and it brought in people to our office. Well, day 2 or 3 we started streaming and we had a random guy come in all sheepish. "Hey, I hear you're showing the World Cup." "Oh yeah," we point to the wall. "You mind if I sit in for a bit?" "Nah, go for it." Well, he was there for a while, real nice guy, pretty quiet, we almost forgot he was there, when suddenly one of the event coordinators barges in like a bat out of hell. You're on. Now. Oh. He runs out of the room. Apparently he was the guest speaker who flew in from outside the country. They were tearing apart the building looking for him and by sheer dumb luck stumbled across him in our office. He was there for at least 30 minutes, possibly an hour or more. I don't know exactly how long we delayed the conference, but from then on we were banned from showing any World Cup matches. Apparently it's just too addictive. The New Intern and the Hunt for a Static IP, by user Caribou16. I was goofing off on LinkedIn today and saw an update from a former intern who worked this summer at an organization where I was a sysadmin in the late 00s and was reminded of this tale. I mainly handled infra/operations IT and the new intern knocked on my door one morning, introduced himself as working for one of my colleagues on the app dev side of the shop and said he needed a static IP address to configure a small label printer to do some testing with an application. Sure, no problem, here you go. Hours go by, and the frustrated intern knocks again, saying he wasn't able to find the IP address I gave him. I asked him what he meant by find. Apparently he had been plugging his laptop, configured for DHCP, into every unused network drop in the building looking for it to pick up the IP I had given him. "But you changed something we said you shouldn't touch," by user Sub-Zero-L. Long-time lurker here now sharing one of the interesting days working as a tech engineer for primary schools. Here I am, about 3 years ago, just promoted to network engineer from a service desk position, sent out to set up new Wi-Fi APs for a customer. The ticket states that their alarm system is fickle and I should steer clear from it. No biggie, 5 APs. That's about an hour work, including configuring SSIDs and checking if they are placed conform site survey. I SSH into one end, no connection. Check the IP I got from the DHCP server and it's off. Off to the patch cabinet and lo and behold, in a world where 90% of all primary school devices use Wi-Fi and 10/100 switches are a thing of the past, I find a 1000 mbit fiber switch, functioning as a core switch to a stack of 10/100 UTP switches. Our firewall can be found here as well, but no devices I can think of that could produce a second DHCP server. So, I set a static IP in the subnet I got from this rogue DHCP server and I managed to find a gig asset VoIP box. Log in with the default credentials and to my shock it's actually running a DHCP server and functions as a PPPoE modem towards an internet connection no one heard of. This is where the fun starts. I turn off the DHCP function. Start configuring my APs and halfway through the alarm sets off. Customer angry because I changed something. I'm flabbergasted. I decide to go the make the customer happy way and go and fix it right this time. So first things first, how is this alarm system configured? Luckily VoIP and the alarm were installed by the same provider. Sadly, this provider sold all their alarm customers and all their VoIP customers to another third party, both unaware of what was actually installed due to a horrible handover. The alarm company luckily can tell that they only have systems using IP to manage, and all they should need is a specific open port to the outer world. This goes against the interpretation of our customer, who is 100% sure the alarm uses a phone connection. The VoIP company doesn't have any info on the VoIP box I found and decided to just send someone to handle it and document everything to make sure this doesn't happen again. Since the VoIP box isn't in use, doesn't contain any SIP info and can't be found, I decide to remove it from the network. These old switches, lacking proper ARP support, made this an old school let's ping this, and pull cables search. But after eliminating this bugger, and resetting the alarm and actually used VoIP system, I'm finally ready to continue configuring the APs. Done? No. The party that installed the APs neglected the request to remove the old ones from above the ceiling plates, probably due to lack of documentation. Note, we were not in charge of the old APs. So I tracked them down and removed these APs covered in crusty mouse droppings. Never was I so happy with a bar of soap and hand sanitizer. When packing my stuff to leave, I hear the school head on the phone with one of our relationship managers, complaining about the fact that I managed to set off the alarm and shouldn't have touched it. Dr. IT in primary schools are usually sub-par, but this school took the cake and complained about me after fixing most of their issues, while not even being there for troubleshooting. You want me to by user substantial term 3843. This said by a low-level manager who was notoriously dismissive for procedure. Very much the do anything to get the prize and break anything that stood in his way type. Whether that's a policy or actual equipment, by God he'd build an altar to himself on the ashes of lives and property and upon it raise his golden trophy to the sky. On this occasion he catches me on a particularly tiresome day. I hate it here. Manager, poking head through door, hey, we've got people with problems, can you come and take a look? Me, entirely unhappy, what's the problem? Manager, some people can't get on the application. Me, interrupted from doing something I hate by something I hate more, how many? Manager, many. Me, edging towards stroppy teenager, when did that start? Manager, just now, I came straight down. Me, slow tired blink and exhale, and is there any error message? Manager, can't connect. Me, oops, I accidentally my FS to give, cool. Raise a ticket with all that and add the users and computer names and I'll review it when it hits my queue. Manager, sad face puppy dog eyes, you want me to raise a ticket? Me, not even enjoying this, please, yes. No one clapped. Though someone more senior who'd seen me struggle with this guy before did say good for you, and there were a fair few of the team staring straight at their screens with knowing smirks. I hate it here.